What up, YouTube? It's me, Isaac, coming to you with another edition of my life. So, a few months ago, I started um my adventures as Mega Man Star Force series, and the only two videos I actually got out of that were my two uh preview um my two previews of what I hope the Legacy Collection were gonna be about. So this is my actual first video of the My Adventures as Star Force Mega Man series, and so there are let's see, I think altogether there are 7 titles in the Star Force series of Mega Man games. I'm not 100% sure. One had 3. Yeah, there are 7. It is Star. They are Star Force Pegasus, Star Force Leo, Star Force Dragon. Those are Star Force ones, which really the only difference between them, from what I can recall, on the DS is the elemental part of it. Ice Pegasus, Fire Leo, and Wood Dragon, which is just called Dragon Sky in the game, which is kind of weird because even on the description it says use the element of wood to fly. So that's a little weird because also Ice Pegasus can fly too, so that's a little odd to me. So, like I said, the first 2 videos in that series were just my hopes for what the Star Force Legacy Collection would actually be like. Today, I am actually starting out the My Adventures of Star Force properly. So, so what? So a couple of y'all saw my Star Force reviews. Well, Star Force preview Hope of Change like videos, which I was right in my assumption that they would have a damage off enhancement like they had in Battle Network, which is a little on the nose that people wanted that because of how many virus encounters you come across in Star Force. Just like Battle Network, Star Force has so many. It's X amount of steps that Mega Man or takes in Star Force that a virus battle starts. Quite literally, it's like, and these are just like the 10 games of Battle Network. They're just reprogrammed, scaled down versions of, reprogrammed, scaled versions of the DS games, which I don't know how they managed to put both screens there on a Switch Lite. I can understand them putting it on a regular Switch, but somehow they got it on the Switch Lite, which, ow, that didn't feel too good. I got my Switch Lite right here with Mega Man Star Force in, which I'm planning to play again as soon as I get something, as soon as I get this video edited and uploaded. So I'm loving the collection so far, even though I have just started, well, with multiple. So I feel kind of like a freaking idiot for this. So I have two files on my Switch. One that is my main game file, which I use for, let's say, PvPs, possible online trading once I get Nintendo Online back, and stuff like that. For I have my main Switch profile, and I have a game testing Switch profile. I'm sure you can guess what I mean when I say main versus game test file. But so a couple of weeks ago, when the Star Force collection came out, I had switched over to my test file, profile, just to test the waters of Star Force. And I was on the phone with Nintendo for 7 hours because I thought I lost all my data. I feel like a complete moron because what happened was this. I switched over to my test profile to test out the waters of Star Force like I do any game I get. So I thought I lost everything. Turns out that what I was doing was I was playing on my test file all along. I feel like a complete and utter idiot because if I was on the phone with, like, let's see, 14 or 15 people for 7 hours trying to get my stuff back, which by that I mean all my DLCs, everything that I've purchased since I started using the Nintendo eShop. Well, Nintendo eShop with Switch, I should say, since the eShop for the 3DS and stuff were shut down. But since I started using the Nintendo eShop, I thought I had lost back in 2019, I believe, is when I got my first DLC for Switch. I thought I had lost my entire catalog of DLC, which I technically did, but also I spent 7 hours on the phone with them for nothing because it turns out I was on my test profile. I cannot believe I didn't realize that because both my test profile and my main profile have two different pictures. My test profile is Donkey Kong, and my actual profile where I get all my DLC and stuff like that, I won't say what that is, but let's just say that icon is not Donkey Kong. And let's just say the day after I spent 7 hours on the phone with them, I spent another hour on the phone again trying to get my the download codes that my brother gave me because I couldn't read them and they looked like they were scratched off to me, and I spent another hour doing that, and again, it was a stupid mistake that I was making because I couldn't find the codes for them. It turns out all that time I had been looking at the front of the Nintendo card instead of the back where you scratch everything off. So I feel really, really, really freaking stupid about that. So all in all, I spent 8 hours on the phone for no damn reason at all. I had everything. I was just on the wrong profile, which when I realized I was on the wrong profile, I felt like a complete and utter moron. Still feel like a complete and utter moron for that. But thanks to my brother explaining things, and luckily for me, I finally realized I was on my test profile instead of my main gaming profile. Thank God I finally realized that. And my brother, the one who gave me the Nintendo cards, was the one that told me to flip the card over, and that's how I was able to get my my eShop codes, which I do feel like a complete and utter moron for both of those, given the fact that I spent 8 hours on the phone with, let's see, like I said, 15 or 16 people. But over the, well, actually, I'm not going to get into that because then this video could go over an hour and I would not want it to. But I am really glad that I finally figured everything out. Do I feel like a moron that I have to restart everything over? Yes. Do I feel like a moron that I didn't realize that it wasn't the icon, it was my test profile icon that I was playing on and not my main profile? Yes. Am I glad that I finally got everything settled out? Yes. And My Adventures as Mega Man Star Force series should be coming up soon. This is just a little video that I've had in my head for the last couple of days and wanted to get it out because of how moronic I feel over that fact. And yeah, I'm your host, Isaac Brummett. Please like, subscribe, share with your friends, leave a comment. Peace out, y'all. Have a good one. I know I sure as shit will. Now that I figured everything out, that is. I'm your host, Isaac Brummett. Please like, subscribe, share with your friends, leave a comment. Have a good one. I know I sure as shit will. Peace out, y'all.